Hey, do you want to have fun but only for 3% of your day? Do you want to wait hours in lines for rides that have numerous delays and will shut down right before you're about to get on? Well, then there's no place better than Funland, home of the Seatbelt Unbuckler, the Cart Collider, and the famous Seatbelt Unbuckling Cart Collider. So come on down to hell. It's literal hell. Funland is located in hell, so come on down, bring the kids, bring the family, come to hell.
Theme parks are the #1 destination to wait for disappointment, and #2 is probably the adoption clinic. I've always liked theme parks. I'm a big fan of roller coasters, I like the theming and the overall atmosphere, and I was dropped a lot as a kid. But my parents won't fill that desire anymore, so I go to theme parks. Now, while I could talk about the big theme parks like Disneyland, Universal Studios, and Six Flags, hell, going to Universal was the motivation for me to make this video. But I think all my thoughts about theme parks can be summed up by telling you some stories from my trip to Lagoon Amusement Park. Lagoon, it's what fun is. Okay, society. So Lagoon is apparently the only major theme park in Utah. Personally, I beg to differ. The Walgreens here makes a pretty compelling argument. I went here on a school field trip, and my first impression from walking right into the park was the 3.5-hour line for Cannibal. I thought the lines were going to be shorter because only school students would be in the park. But no, they were longer. They were much longer. I've heard magical stories from my friends about how Colossal is usually a walk-on, trust me. Well, that's just dandy. But because of that line, me and my friends ended up to the Cliffhanger ride first. It's a ride that straps you in, slowly flips you around, and then waterboards you. One of my friends was scared to go on the ride. Imagine being afraid of a ride. What a little idiot. We waited in line for the full 40 minutes. It was starting to get hot out, and we were ready to drown. We were the next people to go. And I'm not kidding you when I say this. But it broke down right before we were about to get on. Just like Walgreens.
Oh man, I really enjoyed that ride. That was fun.
Eventually, later in the day, we got into a bigger group, and after we finished one ride, we heard the line was short for Wicked, another roller coaster in the park that was pretty cool. So we all ran over to the line, but some were quicker than others. Thus, some of us got further in the queue. So we may or may not have done a little line cutting to catch up to them. Now, I get it can be a little suspicious when 7 8th graders are jumping the fences to catch up with their friends, but I think it's morally fine to line cut in that situation. At least in my opinion. If that happened in front of me, I wouldn't care, especially since this was at the beginning of the line. But one mother in particular got real pissed.
Hey, what do you kids think you're doing?
We're just catching up to our friends, man.
If you don't get back to the line right now, I'm calling park security.
Of course, we didn't go to the back because that was absurd. But she actually did! While we were waiting, a park employee came up to us and asked,
Did you guys cut in line?
Well, actually, we all ran towards this ride after, finishing another one, and we all got in at different times,
You
so
just
we...
going with your friends?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, I don't care. Don't do it real late in the line, I guess.
Lady, if you were watching this, is that what you wanted? Or did you want us to be sent to an insane asylum? Anyways, we did the same thing on Cannibal. Twice. So the line for Cannibal was 3.5 hours long. I'm not waiting that. But one of my friend's friends was, so we got in line with them. I was really excited to go on this ride. It looked pretty intense and fun until...
Yeah, so you go inside, you sit down, the lap bar comes down, and then you go up this elevator shaft.
I didn't even know it was legal for roller coasters with loops to not include shoulder harnesses. Now, I've done some research, and unless the seat malfunctions, it is literally impossible for you to get out of them. But still, the idea of hanging out of my seat 200 feet in the air was absolutely terrifying. So yeah, waiting in line, I was incredibly anxious and I was dreading getting on the ride. I was literally shaking. I was able to calm myself down a bit by saying, hey, everybody I've seen gone on this ride has been perfectly safe. Why should I be the exception to the rule? Why wouldn't I be safe? But then we got to our seats and my heart rate was so high, man. My friends tried to calm me down by saying,
Oh, don't worry, you're definitely going to die.
The ride starts moving forward, and no joke, my heart was probably about to break 300 a minute. But then we got onto the elevator track. and we were raised 200 feet in the air, with me looking up the whole time. I basically accepted, yup, this is how I die. We reached the top, and we can see the view from 200 feet up. And the kite slowly teetered over the edge and down the 180-degree drop. After that, the ride was actually pretty fun. I built it up in my head so much, thinking it was going to be the worst thing ever, when in reality, it was just fun. There was this one part of the ride that goes into a corkscrew and then another corkscrew, and I specifically remember during that I said, "Oh, I don't like this!" And my friends still laugh at me about it. To the cringe outsider, theme parks are a waste of time. You wait in a 2-hour-long line for a horrible, scary, and dangerous ride. But the based response is that theme parks are horrible, and they are amazing because of it. Throughout the ride delays, the unbearable heat, the horrifying ride experiences, I'd be the biggest liar in the world if I said I didn't enjoy every second of it. I feel like charging for bathrooms should be against Geneva Convention.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Sorry for disappearing off the platform for 3 months. I was struggling with where I wanted to take the channel, but I got over it, and I've got some great stuff in the works. I'm looking forward to uploading the rest of this year. So if you want to see that, be sure to subscribe, and that's all I really have to say. See you all next time.